All the engines on the island of Sodor were very excited. The Fat Controller's mother was coming to the island to celebrate her birthday. The engines chugged up and down to get ready for the big day. On the big day, the Fat Controller came to Tidman's sheds. Tooted Thomas quickly. Beamed the Fat Controller. Later, Thomas puffed proudly into Knapford Station with Annie and Clarabelle. He was very excited. Sir Topham Hatt, Lady Hatt, and Dowager Hatt were waiting in their birthday best. The station master loaded the picnic baskets, and the biggest birthday cake Thomas had ever seen. Thomas smiled, but the Fat Controller's mother wasn't smiling. She looked very stern. She made Thomas feel nervous. Just then, Percy chuffed into the station. Peeped Percy. Thomas stopped feeling nervous. This was going to be the best birthday picnic ever. Thomas whooshed and wheeshed through the countryside. Annie and Clarabelle clattered and chattered. Everyone was happy. Finally, they arrived at the beautiful Shem Valley. There were woods, and streams, and green fields. Thomas was sure the Fat Controller's mother would like this. It was the perfect place for a picnic. The Fat Controller, his wife, and his mother looked at the fields, but they didn't smile. The fields had just been plowed into thick brown mud. Cried Thomas. Said the Fat Controller sternly. Thomas thought very, very hard. And then he set off. Thomas pumped his pistons even harder to get to the other side of the island. He was puffing to the castle. Chuffed Thomas. At the castle station, the Fat Controller spoke to the station master. Said the Fat Controller. So, Thomas set off from the castle. He rocked and he rolled, he huffed and he puffed. The Fat Controller, his wife, and his mother were bounced and bumped inside the carriage. Thomas went faster and faster, trying to have another idea. The Fat Controller leaned out of the window. He boomed. Thomas huffed to a halt. Peeped Thomas sadly. Boomed the Fat Controller. Thomas hoped he'd have another idea before he got to Knapford. But as he pulled in, not one idea had dropped into his funnel. The Fat Controller, his wife, and his mother got off the train. And with a low toot, Thomas chuffed sadly back to Tidmouth. When Thomas got back to the sheds, the other engines were waiting. They had heard that Thomas's good ideas had gone wrong. Moaned Thomas sadly. Peeped Percy cheerfully. Gasped Thomas. Thomas let out a big whoosh of steam. Said Thomas. Peeped Percy. Percy wanted to whistle cheerfully, but his whistle wasn't working. It was blocked with quarry dust. Said Gordon, and he blew a long, low note. Chirped Emily, and she gave 2 high toots. Tooted Henry. Thomas tooted. The other engines were puzzled. Thomas beamed. The Fat Controller, his wife, and his mother were sitting sadly in the living room when the station master rang. They were all to go to Knapford Station. Thomas and the other engines had a special surprise. When they arrived at Knapford, they could hardly believe their eyes. There was bunting and balloons, fine food, and the birthday cake. Thomas gave 1 toot. And then, one after the other, the engines hooted and tooted, whistled and blew, "Happy birthday to you." And for the first time all day, the Fat Controller's mother smiled from ear to ear. Smiled Dowager Hat. Boomed the Fat Controller. Thomas was delighted.